Hello everyone, this is Ange. So I wanted to try something new and do a top 10 favorites video related to visual novels. I figured a good theme would be a top 10 favorite Tsunderes, a popular character archetype. For those who don't know what a Tsundere is, the long and short is that it's a character that has two modes to their personality, a tough, cold, harsh side, and a soft, vulnerable, affectionate side. The classic Tsundere type tends to fully start on the harsh, outgoing personality and slowly developing into the full, affectionate personality. The modern Tsundere type tends to switch between the two modes depending on the characters she's talking to or the type of joke or drama that's currently going on. Personally, Tsunderes aren't a personality type I tend to like too much, but sometimes they really stick out and end up being great characters. In this video, I'll highlight my favorites that really stuck out to me. Let's get started. At number 10, we have Tsugumi Komachi from Era 17. Tsugumi starts off very aloof and harsh towards the rest of the cast. Her development varies upon the route, but when she does develop, she becomes a great character. Era 17 is a very spoiler-heavy visual novel, so I can't say too much. Let's just say, when Tsugumi gets a love interest, it's a really big factor for her change, and it's really interesting to see. At number 9, we have Mashiro Arisaka from Aokana, 4 Rhythms Across the Blue. Mashiro at her base level is a generally quiet, shy girl, but she is very openly affectionate to Misaki to the point of following her around every day. So her soon portion comes to the main character Masaya. Masaya and Misaki tend to have a decent amount of interactions, albeit a lot of it ends up being Misaki teasing Masaya. This causes Mashiro to get angry at Masaya, and she ends up giving him the cold shoulder or making harsh comments at him very often. That said, she does appreciate how he helps her learn flying circus, though isn't really open about it. When you get to her route and Extra 1, her dere comes out in full force. After a series of events, she becomes just as affectionate to Masaya as she does to Misaki, and it's really nice and comfy to watch. At number 8, we have Touko Kirihara from Cross Channel. Touko, by default, is aloof towards just about every character, but tends to get very angry at the main character, Taichi. That said, you can't really blame her, as Taichi is prone to sexual harassment very often. Similar to Tsugumi from Ever 17, Cross Channel is a very spoiler-heavy visual novel, so it's hard to talk more about Touko in detail. I'll just say that Touko has a past with Taichi, and it makes their relationship one of the most interesting of the main cast. I could even make an argument that her personality is kind of a deconstruction of the Tsundere archetype in a way. At number 7, we have Sora Minazuki from Baldr's Sky. Sora in general is actually an upbeat, outgoing tomboy that joins the main character's school early on in the story. Unfortunately, she and the main character, Cole, have a very bad first meeting, as she incorrectly assumed Cole was harassing her sister and got very angry and was even kind of violent to him because of it. Thankfully, shortly after, she did figure out the truth and apologized to him heavily. After that, their relationship did become more amiable, but there were still moments where misunderstandings and arguments stemmed from her occasional tough, harsh personality towards him. Baldr's Sky is a very long story visual novel, and Sora's romance is one of the most interesting parts of it, and part of why I recommend reading Baldr's Sky if you can. At number 6, we have Yuzuyu Hiiragi from Fureraba. Similar to Sora from Baldr's Sky, she and Kosuke, the protagonist, have a misunderstanding very early on in the game. This causes Yuzuyu to become very openly aloof and sometimes vocally abrasive towards Kyosuke. Though it doesn't help, Kyosuke gets a kick out of her lashing out and makes it a point to troll and get reactions out of her. However, once you get into her route, she completely switches from her abrasive self to completely affectionate and loving personality. It's almost like she's a new character, and basically an extreme case of a classic Tsundere, but one I generally enjoyed. At number 5, we have Karen Kitaooji from Making Lovers. She's similar to Yuzuyu from Fureraba in that she's fully Tsun before her route starts, but fully dere after her route starts, but a lot less extreme. The way Karen's route starts is fairly unique, and surprisingly even kinda dark for a moege. Other than that, the main thing that makes Karen's route in Making Lovers quite fun is that the Tsundere-style jokes of hitting or lashing out verbally are kept to a surprising minimum. She has a lot more teasing and fun humor you'd expect from most characters in SME visual novels. It also helps she's the only character on this list that's actually an adult age character, being post-college and even has a job. So she does have that air of maturity that a lot of the other characters on this list don't have. Her route also arguably has the best ending of the 5 in Making Lovers. Pretty simple, yet heartwarming. At number 4, we have Rin Tohsaka from Fate Stay Night. Rin is one of the most popular tsunderes in both the visual novel and anime communities, and I can definitely see why. More than a tsundere, Rin is just a really solid, badass character in the series. She may not have the power that servants have, but she's a very smart and crafty magus that ends up being a good contributor to fights. She still has her tsundere moments to Shiro, of course, which is why she's on this list. She just likes to playfully tease him a lot, but she just have her angry and affectionate moments with him, especially in the Unlimited Blade Works route. At number 3, we have Riho Kaguya from Deardrops. Normally I'm not into girls who are super bitchy, but for some reason, Riho was more endearing than frustrating to me. Maybe it was her legit tough girl attitude where she didn't take any shit from anyone. Maybe it was her extremely direct way of talking. Maybe it was her passion for her goals. Either way, I enjoyed her attitude throughout the visual novel, and her route had a lot of great moments and development. At number 2, we have Kazusa Sakaki from Under One Wing. As far as female tsunderes go, she's by far my favorite in visual novels, possibly in any Japanese media. The main thing that sticks out about her for me is she's actually extremely reasonable. Many tsunderes will physically or verbally lash out at the main character for stupid things, even when it's not his fault. Kazusa will be the first to apologize and admit when it's her fault when she just happens to roll in her sleep into a lewd position with the protagonist Junichi. Of course, she will still have her tsundere moments, but as I said, there are more reasonable reasons to get angry, and some of her Tsun moments are related to her insecurities, which I consider to be well developed in her route. And at number 1, we have Tadakatsu Minamoto, commonly nicknamed as Gensan from Majikoi Love Me Seriously. It might be surprising to have a male tsundere in a list otherwise filled with female tsunderes, but Gensan is simultaneously a tsundere and one of the coolest bro characters around. One of his main roles in the series is just comic relief where he pretends to be angry or annoyed while selflessly helping out one of the main characters at the dorm or at school. But he has his pretty badass moments as well, and I quite like his role in the Agave route. He shows up enough to essentially be a Kazuma family member in my eyes, even if he's not one most of the time. And that is it for my top 10 favorite tsunderes in visual novels. What did you think of the characters on my list? Are you wondering why certain tsunderes aren't on my list? Who are some of your favorite tsunderes in visual novels? Feel free to leave a comment below with your opinion or questions. See you all in the next video.